in Dodge City and in the territory on west, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers. That's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The story of the violence that moved west with young America. The story of a man who moved with it. Matt Dillon, United States Marshal.
Sure is hot today, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah.
Used to get hotter in Sweetwater, though.
Texas?
Yes, sir. But I wasn't there very long.
No. What'd you do there, Chester?
Oh, I was a salesman, Mr. Dillon.
Salesman? Well, what'd you sell?
Lightning rods.
Lightning?
Oh. Well, now, they're good things to have, Mr. Dillon. Why, I had a line of lightning
now
rods
don't explain it to me, Chester. Too hot.
Well, I'll go get us some beer. Maybe that'll help.
I don't think I want any beer, Chester.
Well, then, why don't you just go take a siesta, Mr. Dillon? I'll stay here in the office.
Why don't you just leave me alone, huh?
All right, Mr. Dillon.
Marshal.
Yeah, what do you want, Doc?
A couple of cowboys been feeling their liquor over at the Texas Trail.
That's what saloons are for, isn't it?
And they were giving Kitty a bad time.
Oh?
She got rid of them now. But they're down at the end of Front Street now, making remarks and pestering the town ladies. It just might lead to trouble.
Well, I'm not going to walk down there in this heat just to lecture a couple of hard-nosed cowboys.
I'll go, Mr. Dillon.
Oh, good, Chester. You go, huh? Just tell them to take it easy and leave the ladies alone.
Yes, sir, I will, Mr. Dillon.
Hey, lady, you ever been to Texas? Real men down there. Not like these short grass Kansas.
All right, boys. Now, that's enough.
Who's this?
The preacher, maybe.
Boys, Marshal Dillon sent me down here.
And we're going to send you right back, fella.
Mr. Dillon said you can have all the fun you like, but to leave the ladies alone.
That's the whole dang trouble, these Dodge ladies. They've been left alone too long.
Yeah, what they need is a couple of big-handed Texas men.
Look, now, why don't you go over there to the Alfaganza? I'll buy you both a beer.
You will, huh? Well, that's mighty thoughty of you, mister.
We just don't want any trouble, that's all.
Sure we don't. And I got an idea how we won't have any. Wait till I get on my horse here. Stay with our friend a minute, Trevor.
Hey, mister, I'll make a bet.
What kind of bet? What do you mean?
Any kind. You name it. Come on.
Well, but I don't.
I got him! He spilled his gun, Trevor. Pick it up and grab your horse.
Get this rope off of me.
Maybe it'll wear off, mister. You're going for a ride.
Drag him, Tobo, drag him. Let's go.
Chester, Marshal.
What? What? Who got Chester?
A couple of cowboys. The ropemen dragged him out of town. Come on.
What? Well, which way?
West, I'm going with you. Hurry.
Come on.
There they are, but they're not dragging anything.
They must have cut him loose. There he is, by that sagebrush. Chester. Chester. Get that rope off his feet, Shiloh. Look at him. He's bleeding all over. Tore him to ribbons.
I'll stay with him, Marshal, if you'd like to.
No, Shiloh. Go get our horses. I want to get him back to the dock right away.
All right, Marshal.
It's all over, Chester. I got you now. We'll be at the docks soon. Easy, Chester. Easy, fella. Easy now.
I'll carry him when you get tired, Marshal.
I won't get tired, Shiloh. Not for a long time. Well, Doc?
Yeah, he's in bad shape, Marshal. The worst is something that's bothering his breathing. I don't know what it is. We'll just have to wait and see if it goes away. If he lives the next few days, he'll pull through.
Oh, Doc.
I know. But I'll stay right here with him.
Why did I have to send him? Why didn't I go?
Oh, and I don't blame yourself,
I
Marshal.
told him to go, didn't I?
Yes, but...
Doc, can I talk to him?
No, Marshal, no. Not for a while.
All right, then. Will you tell him this for me? I'm going after those men. I'm going to bring them back. Alive. Or at least half alive. In the street outside, waves of heat move back and forth, making things seem unreal. Like Chester lying up there at docks. That seemed unreal somehow. I walked down to the jail and I went inside and I sat there for a while. And then all at once I got up and unbuckled my guns and I hung them on a peg behind the desk. And I went over to the Texas Trail.
I'm over here, Matt. Sit down. Matt, I heard about Chester. How is he?
Doc doesn't know for sure.
Oh.
They were in here bothering you. Who were they, Kitty?
I never saw him before. One was a kind of weasel-faced man named Trevitt.
And the other?
Big man. Real brute. Named Stobo, I think.
I see. What outfit, they say?
Would it be the Crow Track?
Yeah. The Crow Track's holding a herd up the river. Thank you, Kitty.
Wait a minute, Matt.
Yeah?
No business of mine to ask, but where are your guns?
It would have been easier for Chester if they'd have shot him and killed him.
But I don't see...
So I'm not going to shoot them. If Chester dies, I'll see him hanged. Otherwise...
Otherwise what, Matt?
I don't know. But I'm going to bring him back and we'll wait and see.
You're taking an awful chance.
Maybe.
Oh, Matt. Please be careful.
Sure. Kitty,
Yeah, Matt.
look in on Chester once in a while, will you?
Oh,
Maybe
of course I will. Don't worry about him.
Thank you, Kitty. So long.
Hey, Marshal,
What is it, Shiloh?
I'll walk outside with you. Marshal, I want to ride after those cowboys with you.
No, Shiloh, I'm going alone. But we could use you here at the jail.
Here?
I'm going to take 2 prisoners. I don't know when or how, but I need a jailer when they come in.
So I'll bring them in with you, and then I'll...
No. That's something I have to do alone.
Marshal, you're a stubborn man. But, okay, I'll do it.
Keys are in my desk. Here's my horse. I'm going now.
Wait a minute, Marshal. You're not armed.
I know it, Shiloh. Goodbye. Who's the trail boss here? Where is he?
Here I am, and I don't need any rider.
Maybe not, but you got 2 riders I need.
How's that? Just what do you want, mister?
That's the Crow Track outfit, isn't it?
That's right.
I'm looking for a couple of your men called Stobo and Trevor.
They ain't here, mister.
And where are they?
They come back this afternoon, picked up the gatherings, and left. Didn't even wait to get paid off. Now, I'm telling you this just because they're no good, and I'm glad they're gone.
Which way'd they go?
I wouldn't tell you if I knew, mister.
I didn't think you would.
Who are you, anyway?
I'm a U.S. Marshal out of Dodge.
That's so? Well, I don't know what you want them for, and I don't care, but how you going to take them, Marshal? Put salt on her tail? You ought to at least take a club if you're going after that Stobo. He's mean, he's big. Besides being a Texan.
We've hung Texans up here before, mister.
Marshal.
Yeah?
I heard Stobo and Trevor say they were heading west, following the Arkansas.
Where are you from, son?
Texas, near Waco.
And what are you sniveling around informing on these men for?
That Stobo kicked me, knocked me down and kicked me.
All right, son, I'll ride along the Arkansas. But you ride back to Texas and learn how to fight your own battles. I cut straight down to the Arkansas and followed it west. I rode close to the water where I could use the sound of it for only my cover. After an hour or 2, I spotted a hobbled horse alone. Stobo and Trevitt must have separated. I got down and followed the animal's tracks as best I could in the moonlight until I caught the dying coals of a campfire on the bank ahead. To one side, I could make out the huddled figure of a man asleep in his blanket. It took a long time to crawl to his head where I saw the weasel face of the man Trevitt. His gun belt lay on a saddle blanket in easy reach. I stood up and heaved it out into the river. And as Trevitt sat up with a snap, I kicked him back.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
You sit up again and I'll smash your skull, Trevitt.
Don't kill me! Don't kill me!
Shut up. Now, where's your rope? I told you to lie down. Now, where's your rope?
Under my saddle there. You gonna lynch me?
No. But you may hang legally if you live that long. Now, keep your arms in that blanket and lie still while I get you roped up here.
Who are you, mister?
Yeah, that'll do it. Let's just say I'm a good friend of a man you dragged out of Dodge this morning.
Stobo was in on that, too. It was his idea. He did it.
Don't worry, I'll find Stobo.
You ain't gonna leave me like this?
I'll be back.
You ain't even carrying a gun.
Too bad for you, I'm not. Now, Trevor, I'm going to throw you across my horse and tie you on. He'll take you into Dodge right to the jail. When you get there, tell Shiloh who you are if you can still talk. And he'll give you a nice, clean cell.
You're the marshal.
I'll be back when I find Stobo.
You can't do it, Marshal. I'll die on that, son. Ride like that across a horse. No, listen. Stobo's about a mile upriver. We had a row and I left him. See, I told you, Marshal. Let me go now.
Trevor, how would you like to go to Dodge behind my horse with a rope around your heels?
No, don't, Marshal. Don't kill me.
I'll pack you on now. I tied Trevor across my horse and started him off in the direction of Dodge, and then I forgot about him. Stobo was next. I rode west on Trevitt's horse. Dawn was just breaking when I saw him, crouched behind a campfire, cooking breakfast. His horse was saddled and stood nearby. I rode straight up, got down, and walked over.
Lost, stranger?
No. I'm not lost. Stobo.
No tricks, mister. I don't see a gun, but no tricks.
Relax, Stobo. I'm unarmed.
Who are you?
Matt Dillon. I'm a U.S. Marshal out of Dodge.
You're a long way from Dodge, Marshal.
Stobo, you and your pal had some fun with a friend of mine yesterday. You hurt him bad. Maybe you killed him.
You rode out here without a gun to tell me that? You're the craziest marshal I ever saw. I'm going to shoot you, Marshal, and bury you in the river. What do you think of that?
I expected you would.
Huh?
But unless you want it on your conscience that you refused to feed a man on the trail, you better give me a piece of that pork first.
You're about the coolest man I ever saw, Marshal.
Do I eat?
Sure you do. Sure. You just stand right there across the fire and don't move. I have to shoot you before you've been fed.
I know.
It's too bad I only got one dish for your last meal, Marshal.
A man can keep sassy on meat alone, Stobo.
Yeah, he sure can. Well, looks about done. At least this here piece says you can't...
All right, I got your gun, Stobo, so don't try anything.
You burn me! You burn me!
Just a few coals. They won't hurt you. Now shut up and get on your horse.
I'll kill you for this, Marshal. You can't hurt me like that.
On your horse! Come on now. Get up there. Now, you just sit there, Stobo. I'm going to throw a noose around your neck, so keep your hands down. There now. Now, you ride toward Dodge. And you do anything I don't like, and I'll jerk you off your horse and drag you the rest of the way. Now, ride. Jail's on the left. You see it?
I see it.
All right, pull up. Shiloh! Shiloh!
Well, hello, Marshal. This other one?
Yeah. Trevitt, get here.
More dead than alive, but he's here. It was rough, Marshal. Real rough.
Yeah. Shiloh, how about Chester? Tell me.
Doc ain't sure yet, but he's alive.
Lock Stobo up. I'm going over to Doc's.
All right, you get down. And walk straight, or I'll shoot you through both knees.
Chester was asleep, but the doc let me take a look at him. Seemed to me he had more trouble breathing than before. But the doc said another day might see him out of it. And there was nothing I could do. So I went up for a steak and some sleep. And the next morning I went back to the jail.
Morning, Marshal.
Is everything all right, Shiloh?
Doc looked over your prisoners. Trevitt's pretty sick yet, but Stobo's all right. Got a few burns is all. Nothing could hurt that moose.
A hanging might.
Sure, but what if Chester pulls through?
You can't hold us in, Marshal. There's no law that says...
I don't like the sound of your voice, Trevitt.
But you can't
Be
hold us.
quiet.
Don't worry, Trevitt. There's nothing he can...
You too, Stobo. Shut the door, Shiloh. I don't even want to look at him.
That Stobo's a mean one, but I feel kind of sorry for Trevitt.
And go cry about it someplace else. I don't feel sorry.
Don't you take it out on me, Marshal. I didn't send Chester off to do my job.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Go get some breakfast, huh, Shiloh? I'll wait here now.
I'll be back later.
Hello, Marshal.
Doc? What is the doc coming?
Chester. He's going to be all right.
You sure?
Well, of course, Marshal. His breathing suddenly changed. The pressure's off somewhere. Oh, he's going to be fine.
That's good.
Of course, he'll be in some pain for a while yet, but...
Yeah. All right, Doc, I'll come see him in a little while.
I'll tell him for you, Marshal.
All right, come on, Trevor.
Where to?
Come on, I said.
What's up, Marshal?
I'll be back for you, Stobo. Now get going. Come on.
It was Stobo, did it? Not me. You can't do anything to me.
Shut up. Trevitt, your horse is down at the National. Go get on it.
You turning me loose?
Get your horse and ride, and don't ever come back to Dodge, not while I'm alive. Now go on before I change my mind.
Yeah, sure, I'll go.
You're next, Stobo.
What you do with Travis? Put a knife in him?
I turned him loose. Now come on, get out of that cell.
Am I free, too?
You will be in a little while.
So the doc, Marshal. Chester's... Hey, where you going with Stobo?
Gonna shoot me in the back, probably. That right, Marshal?
I'm going to do what I should have done 3 days ago when I sent Chester after you. Bring him outside, Shiloh.
Let's go, Stobo. Slow and easy.
Bring him over here, Shiloh.
You're gonna drag me, is that it? You try that.
That's what you do, isn't it, Stobo?
Don't try.
Never mind. Shiloh, hold my guns. Here.
What the...
Oh, I get it. You're gonna fight me. Marshal, you're crazier than I thought. Why, I'll tear your throat out.
If he wins, let him go, Shiloh.
Maybe I will.
I said you'll let him go.
All right, Marshal, all right. Maybe you're crazy, but I guess this is your party.
Come on, Marshal. I'll make it short for you. Real short.
Stand back, everybody. Get back, do you hear?
You're big, Stobo, but you're stupid. You're ugly stupid.
Why, you... I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
Give me my guns, Shiloh.
Here. You don't look too good, Marshal. I'd better get that doc.
He's hurt, but he isn't dead. If he can't ride, throw him on a stage, but get him out of here. If I see him again, I'll shoot him. Chester? Can I come in?
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon. My, what happened to you?
I've been lecturing a couple of hard-nosed cowboys. One in particular.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry, Mr. Dillon. Those two sort of got the drop on me.
Yeah, it sure did.
Mr. Dillon?
Yeah?
I've been thinking, and
Yeah? What is it, Chester?
well, Mr. Dillon, I'm not much help to you here. Maybe I better just...
That's enough, Chester.
Well, but I've been thinking
Well,
that...
just stop thinking.
Yes, Mr.
Now, look, Chester, I'm going to tell you something. I need you here. You see, you're the only man in Dodge I can really trust. The only one.
Yes, sir. Well, you can trust me, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah, I know. And I'm thanking you, Chester. But you're sure no help to me lying there, you know. No help at all.
Well, I don't aim to stay here long. The doc says I'll be up and around again.
Look, Chester, I tell you what. I'll go get patched up, and then we'll make Kitty come over and fix us some steaks, and we'll have some beer, too, huh? Well, what do you say?
My, that'd be fine, Mr. Dillon. My, I'd sure like that.
Gunsmoke, transcribed under the direction of Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Tonight's story was especially written for Gunsmoke by John Meston, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Featured in tonight's cast were Paul Dubov, Lou Krugman, and Georgia Ellis, with Don Diamond, Gil Stratton, and Jack Crucian. Parley Bear is Chester, and Howard McNear is Doc. Join us again next week as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal, fights to bring law and order out of the wild violence of the West in Gunsmoke. Around Dodge City and in the territory on west, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with the U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The story of the violence that moved west with young America. The story of a man who moved with it. Matt Dillon, United States Marshal.
It had been some time since we'd had any real trouble. Anything more than throwing a few juiced-up cowboys in jail to sober up for a few hours. And I liked it peaceful for a change, and I hoped that it'd stay that way. Well, that morning I'd gone to take a few catfish out of the Arkansas. When I got back to the office, I found a note from Chester saying he's at the Alafraganza having a beer. Hello, John.
Over here, Mr. Dillon. Any luck, sir?
Oh, about a dozen, Chester. We'll have them for supper.
No, that'll be fine. Oh, I've been telling Mr. Carter here about you, Mr. Dillon.
Mr. Carter?
Robert P. Carter. How do you do, Marshal?
Hello, how are you?
Buy you a drink?
Well, thank you. Yes, I believe I will. I think I'll have a beer.
Bartender, a beer.
Yes, Mr. Carter came in on the stage from Denver last Saturday.
Oh, you live in Denver, Mr. Carter?
Oh, heavens, no. New York, Marshal. I've only been west a few months, investing money in gold mines and cattle and the like.
Mr. Carter's very rich.
Oh.
Well, Chester, I will be if Mother Nature holds out.
His girl is coming in on the stage today, Mr. Dillon.
Oh, is that so?
My fiancée, Marshal.
He met her in Denver, but she couldn't get ready in time to come here when he did.
Ah, I see.
I had to come ahead on business. Couldn't wait. We'll take the Santa Fe to St. Louis from here.
They're going to be married in St. Louis, Mr. Dillon.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Thanks. But is the stage always this late?
He's worried, Mr. Dillon, with his girl on the stage and all.
It'll be along, Mr. Carter.
You talking about the stage?
Oh, hello, Shiloh.
Shiloh says he's been sitting there by himself all morning, Mr. Dillon.
Since last night, Chester.
You know something about the stage, Shiloh?
Only that it's carrying $50,000 in gold out of Leadville.
So?
So maybe that's why it's late.
What do you mean, man?
Well, if somebody wanted that gold, they'd have to stop the stage long enough to get it unloaded, wouldn't they?
Bandits. He means bandits.
Now, hold it, Mr. Carter. You're already bleeding and nobody's shot you yet.
What?
Nothing. Just take it easy. The stage will get here, all right. It's often a little late.
But this man says it might have been held up. Why, there may have been a shooting.
Well, now, he's just daydreaming, that's all.
Wait a minute. Listen.
Huh?
Well, there it is now.
Oh. See, Mr. Carter, there was nothing to worry about. It got here all right.
Yes.
Marshal! Hey, Marshal, come here.
What is it, Jim?
Got held up, Marshal.
What?
Lost 50,000 in gold.
Where'd this happen?
About 20 mile back near Cottonwood Draw, but...
Anybody shot?
Not a shot fired. He tricked it. But
Jane!
Marshal...
Where's Jane? What? Driver! Where's the girl who was on this stage? What's happened to her?
That's what I started to tell you, Marshal. There's a tree across the road. We got down to move it. This rider got the drop on us. He's all alone.
Never mind all that. Where's the girl?
He took the gold, took the girl, too.
What?
He took Jane? You mean to tell me you let him take Jane?
Well, now, mister, there wasn't much choice. He held a shotgun on us, and they're gone before we could do a thing.
Oh, but this is impossible.
Now, take it easy, Mr. Carter. We'll find him.
You'll find it. You were out fishing when it happened. What kind of law is there around here anyway?
Easy, Mr. Carter.
I took one of the team after Marshal, but I couldn't get near him. He had an extra saddle horse with him. Put her on that.
I see.
But I don't think he planned on kidnapping that girl. Way it was, he just looked at her and told her to come along.
Did you recognize him, Jim?
No, his horses are both sorrels.
By heaven, Marshal, you'd better get her back here at once, or I'll take this up with Washington. I'll see you disgraced for
Shut
life.
up, Carter. Chester, go get our horses and a couple of rifles. I'll get a few more details from Jim here.
Well, don't you want a posse, Mr.
No,
Dillon?
there'd be too much shooting around that girl. Now, hurry, will you?
Yes, sir. I'll hurry, Mr. Dillon.
Mark my words. You'd better have Jane back here by nightfall, Marshal.
You
or else-
care to ride along, Mr. Carter?
No, I'm not equipped for that sort of thing. I'll take care of matters at this end.
Yeah. All right, now, Jim, now tell me first exactly what happened.
Well, we just come down into the draw about 100 yards from the creek.
The blood-red sun was drooping over the edge of the prairie when Chester and I reached Cottonwood Draw. We rode hard until night fell, and then we had to stop and wait for daylight. But with morning, we drew a heavy rain that washed out every track. We rode on anyway. For the next 3 days, we scouted a big piece of that country. But it was hopeless. Finally, we headed back to Dodge, empty-handed. Bartender, bring me a bottle, will you?
Sure, Matt. Where is she, Marshal? Is she all right?
Carter, I'm sorry.
What? You mean you didn't find them?
Rain washed out their trail first morning. We never picked it up again. They could be anywhere.
You came back without her.
We did what we could, Carter. Now we'll just have to wait for word of some kind. You'll be seen sooner or later.
Wait. Well, I won't wait. This will cost you your job, Marshal. I promise you that.
Look, Carter, if it'd make you feel better, why don't you ride out yourself?
It isn't my job to keep the law around here, Marshal. It's yours.
Yeah.
Say, Marshal.
Yeah, what is it, Shiloh?
Big Kate wanted to see you when you got back. Asked me to tell you.
Big Kate? Oh, all right, thank you.
Come in. Oh. No luck, eh, Matt?
How'd you know, Kate?
I can tell by looking at you.
Yeah, it's thousands and thousands of miles, that prairie. It'd been just luck if we'd found them.
Nobody's blaming you, Matt.
No? Carter is. And I suppose it's hard on him. His fiancée and all that.
Carter's no good, Matt.
Well, I never liked him, but I suppose that doesn't matter.
And I'll tell you why he's no good.
Huh? You know something, Kate?
Carter's been drunk a lot while you were out. He was bragging to one of the girls last night.
Bragging? What, about what?
Not much, to my way of thinking.
Well, go on.
Well, to make it short, seems Jane's father got into a big deal with Carter up in Denver.
Yeah?
Carter got him tied up good and then threatened to ruin him.
Well, so what happened?
He didn't ruin him. He took Jane instead.
Yeah. Well, maybe she likes him.
You don't know much about women, do you, Matt? You think a Boughten bride is likely to be in love with the man?
So that's what I have to bring her back to.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
What can I do, Kate? Just have to wait and see what turns up. I waited a week. Carter was drunk the whole time, telling everybody how he was going to fix me good. But not doing much about it, except stay out of my way. And things were fairly quiet. Chester and I spent most of our time in the office.
Well, he sure fooled me, Mr. Dillon.
Now, Carter?
Yes, sir. He seemed like such a nice fella. And so rich.
He's rich, all right.
But poor in spirit.
You've been going to church again, Chester.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dillon, last Sunday.
Oh, last Sunday. Didn't it rain last Sunday?
Oh, I like church, Mr. Dillon. But I sure do hate to get all dressed up.
You the marshal?
Yeah, I am.
Here you've been looking for a man and a woman.
Huh? You know anything, mister?
My name's Chad Brown. Just rode in from Satana.
Yeah?
There was a man and a woman about 80 miles back on the trail.
What color horses were they on?
Well, as soon as they saw me, they rode off, so I didn't get very close. But both horses were the same color. I guess maybe sore.
Yeah. Are you willing to ride back with me, Mr. Brown?
I don't know, Marshal. I've got an awful thirst.
That woman's out there against her will.
I'll go.
I'll get our horses.
No, Chester. Be better if you wait here this time. We'll be back in a few days. With luck. Let's go, Mr. Brown. Chad Brown and I covered the 80 miles in a day and a half. The Outlaw's trail headed south for a few miles and then turned northeast, back in the general direction of Dodge. It was hot and still. On the horizon, there were occasional flashes of heat lightning. And then in the distance, we saw the long, low cloud of yellow dust that spelled cattle. A Texas herd trailing north. The kidnappers' tracks led straight into it, and an hour later, we pulled up not far from the swing of the herd. A line of longhorns stretched for several miles across our trail. We watched them, looking for a lag to ride through. All of a sudden, a rider came hallooing down on us.
Hold up! Hold up there!
You ain't aiming to cross that herd, are you?
Have you seen anything of a man and a woman around here, mister?
Was they mounted?
Yeah, a couple of sorrels.
It don't matter. I ain't seen nothing but cattle and cowboys for 6 weeks. Besides, these cattle are plenty uneasy. They've been dry since yesterday morning. And that heat lightning ain't soothing to them.
This herd's crossed the trail of an outlaw and a kidnapped woman, mister.
That's so. Well, you just have to wait. You can ride around a drog back there, but you can't cut through this herd, mister.
Look, I'm a U.S. Marshal out of Dodge, and I haven't got any time to waste. You think we can...
Well, I sure appreciate your problem, Marshal, but I can't help you.
I'm trail boss of this outfit, and I got 3,000 head of cattle here worth maybe $20 a head at Dodge. They're too nervy now, and I sure can't chance your touching them off by riding through there.
I guess he's right, Marshal. It'd be pretty risky from the look of them. They're moving too fast now.
Yeah, I know. Just that I hate to lose the time.
You got more time than I got cattle, Marshal.
Well, I don't know about that. But I won't tempt the stampede, mister. We'll ride around the drag. We'll see you in Dodge.
The Elephant still running?
Yeah, it is. Mostly on Texas money.
Adios.
We rode down along the herd and back up the other side, about a 4-mile detour. But we picked up the trail again and followed it till dark. Next morning, we found the outlaw still headed straight for Dodge, and all we could figure was that he must be new to the country and just plain lost. Naturally, he'd want to avoid asking questions of anybody. By noon, we were in sight of town, and during the last hour, neither Brown nor I said a word. Finally, we rode up Front Street and got down at the jail.
Mr. Dillon? We got him, Mr. Dillon. They rode right in here early this morning.
Gave himself up, huh?
Yes, sir. I got the man locked up in back, and the money is over at the bank.
Oh, good. How's the girl, Chester?
Oh, she's fine. A little tired, but fine.
Ah. Well, what's his story? Who is he?
He calls himself Scott Cooley, but he won't say anything more at all, Mr. Dillon. I just gave up on him. I thought I'd better wait for you.
All right. I'll talk to him first, and then I want to see the girl. Where is she?
I didn't like it, Mr. Dillon, but I didn't see what I could rightly do about it.
What do you mean? What happened?
Well, she sure didn't want to go with him, but that Mr. Carter came here and just the same as dragged her off. She went finally, but I sure don't like it.
Well, they didn't leave Dodge, did they?
Oh, no, sir. There's no train till tomorrow. They're at the hotel.
Oh, all right. I'll go over there later, Chester. Yeah, so you're Scott Cooley, huh? You're new around here, aren't you?
Well, anyways, I never saw you before, Marshal.
Well, I've tried hard enough to meet up with you, Cooley. You're in trouble, you know, bad trouble.
Marshal, you got anything to say, just say it right out.
I got nothing to say. I'm just curious why you rode into Dodge, that's all.
What do you care? I'm here. You got the money back and...
And what?
Oh, leave me alone, Marshal. Just leave me alone.
You gotta talk sometime.
Now, listen, Marshal. I'm ready to serve my time. That's why I gave myself up. But talk, no. I don't have to talk. Not for you. Not for anybody else.
Mm-hmm. All right, Cooley. Have it your way.
Marshal.
Yeah?
Marshal, you going to see Jane?
Yeah? Why?
Well, what are you going to see her about?
Find out what happened?
Yeah. Marshal, I don't suppose you'd let me out of here just long enough to kill Carter.
Now, you mean the girl told you about it?
I wouldn't care if I hang for it. It'd be worth it to kill him.
Mm-hmm. Tell me something. What makes you think what you did's any better?
What? You wouldn't understand, Marshal. But you do what you can for her, will you?
Anything else you want to tell me?
No, that's all.
Who is it?
Matt Dillon.
What do you want?
Open the door, Carter. I want to talk to the girl.
Some other time, Marshal.
You want me to kick the door open? asking for trouble, Carter. How do you do, miss? I'm Marshal Dillon.
How do you do, Marshal?
I know you've been through a lot, miss, but I have to get the whole story from you so as I can file the proper charges against this outlaw, Scott Cooley.
You want to use me to put him in prison? Is that it?
Well, he's committed 2 crimes, robbery and kidnapping. We'll want him up for both.
Well, doesn't the fact that he gave himself up and returned the money help at all?
I'm afraid I don't gather your drift.
Then let it go at that, Marshal. We're leaving Dodge on the next train. So Jane won't be here to testify anyway.
No? Is that what you have in mind, Jane?
Oh, no. I mean, I don't know. Oh, please.
She's upset enough. Marshal, leave her alone.
If I want anything out of you, Carter, I'll knock it out. Now shut up.
You can't talk to me like that.
Wait. Marshal, I'll tell you all about it, but first...
Yeah?
Well, not in front of him. Make him go out, and then I'll tell you.
All right, Carter. Outside.
Don't you order me around. This is my room, and...
I'll throw you out. If I open the door and find you around, I'll throw you all the way downstairs. Now get it! All right, now. Jane, you can talk.
Can I trust you, Marshal? Really trust you?
Well, that's up to you. But I'll tell you this. I know about Carter. About you and Carter, that is.
Then you know how I hate him.
Yeah? But right now I'm curious about this kidnapping. What happened? Why did Cooley give himself up?
Because we decided we couldn't live being hunted down the rest of our lives.
Ah. So you were in on it with him, huh?
No, Marshal. The first time I ever saw Scott Cooley was when he held up the stage.
I'd like to believe that.
Well, it's very simple, Marshal. I love Scott Cooley.
What?
I love him.
Oh, now look, Jane, girls like you just don't go around falling in love with outlaws.
Don't they, Marshal?
No, they don't.
I did.
Then either you're crazy or you're lying to me. And if you weren't a woman, I'd throw you in jail right along with him.
I'm a woman, Marshal, but I've no objection to going to jail with Scott.
No, then you admit you're his accomplice.
No. I suppose it's hard for you to understand, Marshal.
It is.
Well, I'll try to make it simple. You see, Scott doesn't know why he took me with him when he held up the stage. He's never done anything like that before. It just seemed perfectly natural to him. He saw something he wanted and he took it. That's all.
I'm afraid the court will look at it somewhat differently.
Well, I suppose he'll go to prison for the holdup, but not for kidnapping.
Why not?
Because I'll testify that I went with him of my own free will.
I almost wish you two hadn't ridden back to Dodge.
Marshal.
Yeah.
You said you know about Bob Carter and me.
Yeah?
Well, Scott's been wild and he's done wrong, but he's never done anything really evil.
Well, maybe you're better off with Cooley. If he straightens out.
You know I am. Don't you, Marshal?
It's no business of mine. I'm a peace officer, not a matchmaker. My job's to keep Cooley under arrest and get him up for trial, and that's all. Now, what you do is your own business. You can testify any way you like. I can't stop that.
Oh, please. Marshal, help me. There's no one else who can.
Yeah, who is it?
It's Carter. Open this door.
Well, gentlemen.
There are 4 of us here, Marshal. We figure you've talked to Jane long enough.
Yeah, I think I have, Mr. Carter.
You're leaving?
Yeah, we're leaving. Are you ready, Jane?
Oh, thank you, Marshal. Yes, I'm ready.
Jane isn't going with you.
I've just put her under arrest.
Under arrest?
I arrest anybody I think needs arresting, Mr. Carter, and I'm not in the habit of explaining why.
There's a law about that,
You're
Marshal.
in Dodge, Mr. Carter. Come along, Jane.
You can't do this, Dillon. We won't stand for it.
Ah, you're a fool, Carter. I know these 3 bums you got with you, and they don't want to draw on me any more than you do. You fed them some liquor and promised them more. For that, they'll do anything but face me in a gunfight. Am I right, boys? Huh? Well, I take it I am. All right, now get out of my way. You go first, Jane.
You stay here, Jane.
Take your hands off her, mister. Just step over him, Jane.
Mr. Dillon, I don't like to say anything.
Well, then don't, Chester.
But I can't help it, Mr. Dillon. This is the first time you've ever jailed a woman, and I just don't like it.
Good.
What?
I don't like it either, Chester.
What's this all about, Mr. Dillon?
Chester, Jane and Cooley are in love.
My.
Don't look so dewy-eyed about it. Cooley's got to stand trial yet, you know.
I want no part of this, Marshal.
Now what, Shiloh?
I never did like that Carter.
Well, what's he up to?
Oh, sir, he's drunk and he's buying liquor for everyone. He's making a lot of talk. There's about 20 men with him now.
Where?
Texas Trail. Nobody likes it about this girl. Looks like they'll come over here and try to bust her out of jail.
Chester.
Yes, sir?
Those horses still out back?
Yes, sir. I was going to put them away later.
No, leave them. Now, will you get over to the Texas Trail and stall those men for a while? Huh?
All right, Mr. Dillon. Come on, Shiloh.
Not me. I'm going to bed. I got 2 drunk last night. Got the worst head out.
Cooley?
Hmm?
Come on up.
What is this,
Just
Marshal?
hurry it up, will you? Let's go, Jane.
Oh, no. Stay where you are, Jane. I don't
You'll do
like
what
this.
I tell you, Cooley.
It's all right, Scott. We can trust him.
Yeah, but I don't know what he's got.
Scott.
Well. All right, Jane, if you say so.
All right, now out back. Here, that way. Now, come on, let's move. All right, you take the gray horse, Jane. He's gentle enough. But hurry, will you? Come here. Come on, boy.
Where are we going, Marshal?
We're going to Hayes City. Cooley's going to stand trial there.
Yeah,
They got the money back, Scott. They can't do much to you.
I know. But there's that kidnapping, too.
I won't testify. That's all.
Jane, you're going to have to testify. You'll be in contempt of court if you refuse.
Then I'll lie. Anyway, I did go of my own free will. After a while, anyway.
That's perjury. But you don't have to do that either. There's an easier way.
How?
Well, before I deposit Cooley in the Hayes City jail, we might just make a little stop.
What do you mean, Marshal? Stop where?
We're going to stop at the preacher's. You know, a married woman can't testify against her husband.
Scott. Scott.
Come on, honey, let's ride.
Gunsmoke, transcribed under the direction of Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Tonight's story was especially written for Gunsmoke by John Meston, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Featured in tonight's cast were John Stevenson, Larry Dabkin, and Patricia Walter, with Mary Lansing, Herb Ellis, Jonathan Hole, Jim Nusser, and Frank Gerstle. Parley Bear is Chester. Join us again next week as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal, fights to bring law and order out of the wild violence of the West in Gunsmoke.